This is a little project that I started in the house. I had to move it out onto the porch because you couldn't walk across the kitchen floor, but put a screw eye or a hook here, a cup hook, and I attached the eye around it and started with a clove hitch, my loop, a clove hitch, a loop, all the way down the length of the top line. I'm using a number 18 hard bank line for the top line, and the green is a number 6 bonded nylon line. And the project, when I'm done with it, will be essentially a 10-foot long, and I'm thinking 3 feet deep gill net that I'll carry in my kit. And this particular, I worked at getting the right size mesh, experimenting with that, because I'm not focusing on catching really big fish in a genuine survival situation. You don't want to miss out on those little guys that are 2.5, 3 inches long either. And hopefully this mesh size will allow me to catch those as well, and maybe catch a big one in there. I mean, everybody likes to catch a big fish, you know, gives you bragging rights and stuff. But essentially, to get this loop, I used a couple of the gauges. One was 1 3/8 and one was 3/4. And what I decided to do was to simply use my finger as my gauge, and it's a lot faster. There's a lot less to have to hold on to and keep up with. And when your line, always work on the front side. And I simply stick my finger up here as a gauge, wrap it around my finger, and then I pinch it to the tarred bank line. And to get that clove hitch, I go over the line, around it, cross over, coming back over the top, and then I take my needle and I come through the loop and then back through that loop that's going to form the clove hitch. Put a little tug on it, don't get crazy with it, work it a little, and then holding the loop that I made, snug it up.
Can you do that again, because it's going in and out of focus?
Okay, well, here we go. Several times I'll do it.
Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, go ahead.
I go, use my finger as a gauge, pinch it to the tarred bank line, go over, around, back over, coming back, through the loop, and then back through that line. Pull it a little bit, snug it up a little bit, work it, get it tight, and then snug it. And one of the things in doing this, you know, I could go online and time-wise probably save money. I know save money by ordering a couple of nets, one for my kit, one for Shirley's kit. Around my finger, over, around, back up, going backwards, through, and through, and snug it. because this is time consuming. But by ordering ordering something ready made, I'm cheating myself out of the learning curve, for one thing. Plus, this gives me something to do on the porch. Plus, if it's a rainy day and blowing and like it does around here sometimes, I can move this into the house, and I can do this in the house, sitting in the house. But it's part of the learning curve. And
You just wanted to know that you knew how to do it.
I do.
Now, you could use different cordage to make if you had, say you had some paracord,
paracord, absolutely.
you could use that, right? To
Mhm.
make one of these in a survival situation?
You could use paracord, strip the sheathing off of it, and separate the strands. One of the things in doing this,
Come on, focus. There we go.
focus, grasshopper. One of the things in doing this, as with any other skill, the idea that we're just going to walk off into the woods with our kit and our paracord and everything like that we normally carry, and think that in a genuine survival situation, that in just a little bit of time, we're going to construct what we need to do what we need to do. That's really a dangerous thing, because I have already invested just in this much, making this size mesh. I have close to 2 hours of time invested. That does not include the about 3 hours that I spent last night practicing, just so I could set this line up and go to work. So essentially, I've got 5 hours tied up in this already. That's a half of a day. And now I'm talking about making a 10-foot long, 3 feet wide net. And if I've got 5 hours already invested, first in figuring out how to tie these loops and all of that, if I've got 5 hours already invested in this thing and I've not even hardly begun, how long is it going to take to construct a net in the woods that where I have to take the time to separate out the strands of the paracord and then begin doing what I'm doing here. As it is, on a good day, in good times, without the stress of a genuine survival situation, I'm estimating that I'll have 3 to 4 days of work, of time, 3 to 4 days, if I worked full time from daylight to dark to make this net. 3 or 4 days. And if I'm in a genuine survival situation, there's a lot of other things that I'll have to be doing during the course of the day, other than sitting around sewing a net. So that's, we're almost at the end. I'm going to do this one more time, and then we're going to...
Let me see if I can zoom it in and get it to focus on what you're doing. Hold on.
On this little...
Hold on.
This knot.
Hold on. It really doesn't like focusing. Put your hand in the picture.
Okay. I use my finger.
Hold on. Hold on. There. Whoop.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Tell me when.
It's being touchy-touchy.
Touchy.
Give me a second. Duh, come on. Come on, focus.
Look, this grasshopper.
What is wrong with this thing? Okay,
Here we go.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around my finger. Pinch it to the tarred bank line.
Dad, burn it.
Go around the tarred bank line, back over itself, through the loop, and then back through the loop that I've just made. And try to keep those things from getting twisted and turned, because if you do, you're going to end up with a bad knot, or you're going to end up with something jammed, and you don't want to have to fight with that. There you go, folks.
I'm so sorry for the focusing issues. My camera, it's not liking to autofocus. Just blame it on the film.